may seem like an exercise in futility, but the country's continued documentation and filing of complaints over recurring acts of Chinese bullying and harassment in the country's maritime territories and exclusive economic zone shows a committed adherence to the rule of law. The latest dangerous naval maneuvers and use of blinding laser beams against the country's Coast Guard are being noted internationally that will yield greater support for the country moving forward. The full report from our Mela Las Moras.
The Department of Foreign Affairs has filed a diplomatic protest following the Chinese Coast Guard's aggression and use of military-grade laser against our Philippine Coast Guard during its resupply mission in Ayungin Shoal. The diplomatic protest was released to the Chinese embassy. DFA spokesperson Maria Teresita Daza said the Chinese Coast Guard's action is a threat to the sovereignty of the Philippines, and the Philippines has prerogative to perform legitimate activities in its exclusive economic zone. She described China's aggression as disturbing and disappointing, as it closely follows the recent visit of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to China last January. Senators meanwhile condemned the incident.
It's pure harassment done by bullies in the West Philippine Sea. We denounce this. We feel that we should file a very strong diplomatic protest.
If there's one thing that this administration can do, is really come up with a strategy.
For Senator J.V. Ejercito, it seems that the diplomatic protest against China is not working. He said it is about time the Philippines enters into an alliance with the United States, Japan, Australia, and other countries in ASEAN that have territorial disputes with China. But the Chinese Foreign Ministry insisted the Philippine Coast Guard was the one that intruded in the Renai Reef, which they claim is part of China's Nansha Islands. They said they just complied with China's domestic law and based on international law, which he said the other countries should respect. Senator Risa Ontiveros has slammed the statement of the Chinese Foreign Ministry.
China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs is lying. It cannot claim that the Chinese Coast Guard ship acted in accordance with international law when the 2016 arbitral tribunal that ruled against China's baseless 9-dash line claim was constituted precisely under the UNCLOS.
The U.S. Department of State meanwhile stands by with the Philippines, saying that China's actions are dangerous operational behavior that directly threatens regional peace and stability. The PCG meanwhile said they didn't back down from the incident.
Agad po natin itong ipina-check up sa mga doctors doon. At sa kasalukuyan po, sila naman po ay sinasabing naibalik na uli yung ayos nilang sight, no? Yung vision nila. At ang naging effect ng laser nga sa kanila is yung temporary blindness lang which only lasted between 10 to 15 seconds.
Mela Las Moras for The Nation.